was flying us on that helitack crew basically like looked at his phone. He's like, hey, at my company that I work for, because it's all private companies that are contracted to the Forest Service in Canada as well, like everywhere, right? He's like, oh, we just won this hoisting contract way up high on the north coast of BC, on the coast, basically as far north as you can go before you hit Alaska. It was like right on the British Columbia-Alaska border, doing marine pilot transfer stuff. And so he's like, hey, didn't you do some hoisting in Australia? I'm like, yes, I did. And he's like, well, here's my boss's number. I have no doubt that like this is happening in real time. He's like, we literally just won this contract 10 minutes ago. You know, I guarantee that we're going to be looking for people. And so 20 minutes after that, I'm on the phone with the boss of his company and, you know, banging down his door virtually, if nothing else. And yeah, so that was basically the connection to Aerorescue Solutions, which was a contracted company, which I was a contractor for, which provided the hoist operators to that offshore marine pilot transfer program. And that's what kind of got me into sort of full-time hoisting here in Canada, I suppose.
Wow. That's pretty crazy. You know,
it's just the way it goes, man. It's
happenstance, you know, but you put yourself in that position through your experience and your training. Like it wasn't by accident, right?
No,
you did it.
No, it's not. And, you know, I think, you know, maybe I could say this humbly, I don't know, but like we'll get into, I think in your list of things that, you know, you can recommend, don't be a dick. Like just seriously, just don't be a bad person. Like I'd been hanging out with this pilot for months, dude. We were ripping around in the bush together and flying around and playing, like you say, playing pranks on each other. And, you know, like we were buddies. And so I put, not unknowingly, I suppose, we were buddies, and I put myself in a position where this guy, he could have totally not told me about that job. You know, he could have totally not shared that information with me because he didn't think that I was suitable for it and moved on. So, you know, I don't profess to be the world's greatest person, but, you know, not annoying people for as much as you can possibly help it. Like be nice to people and because you never know, right? Like you don't burn your bridges. And that was something my dad always told me. He's like, don't burn your bridges, you know, like, because you never 100%. Know when someone might actually be able to bring something to the table here. And you want to make sure you're on their right side when that time comes. And that was, I guess, just another example of that. This guy trusted me enough, thankfully, to put that on my plate and say, hey, are you interested?
Yeah. Yeah. Leaving this interview, I'm going to have a lot of Rob-isms. You know, one of them is going to be don't annoy people.
Yeah.
Which is true. I mean, man, considering the close proximity that we operate in an aircraft, the last place you want to be with an annoying person is stuck in a helicopter, right?
Totally.
Or any job for that matter, but particularly in a close operating environment.
Yeah.
So
it's life and death. Like, and I like, it sounds dramatic, but it kind of is. Like if you're not 100% in tune with the guys you're working with, like it can only make it worse. I don't know how much worse, maybe a lot, maybe a little, depending on the situation. But if you're not absolutely dialed in with the guys that you're flying with, like it can be problematic, if not catastrophic, right? Like it's really important.
We just talked about it with Nick Minks in the last episode, you know, that an effective aircrew, to be an effective aircrew, you've got to integrate, you've got to work well together. And, you know, I don't care who you are, but if you do not like the person that's sitting to your left or to your right or in the back of the aircraft and you're not communicating well, you're not on the same sheet of music, you're not going to be effective. And that can lead to, you know, obviously some safety concerns, you know, and I think we've all seen it in our careers. You know, there's guys that you would absolutely fly to the gates of hell with, and there's guys that you wouldn't want to go out on a beautiful day and fly around in the pattern together. But
for sure,
you know, and I mean, that's the best advice I think you can give, especially in this industry, because it is so small that everybody kind of, you know, it's that like 6 degrees of separation or something. Like everybody's going to know somebody.
Not even.
If you have a bad reputation, it's going to precede you in most cases. And if not, it's going to be, especially now with like social media and, you know, so many people are like in these aviation groups and job boards and stuff. And some of the things they say, you're like, you know, like literally probably a large percentage of the people that are hiring, the people that are making these decisions are on these pages too, and see some of the, you know, absolute drivel that some of these people post or that, you know, the comments that they make. Definitely could be detrimental to a successful career in aviation in the long run.
100%.